Hello everyone, my name is Eddie. This is my colleague Chris. Together we manage the penetration testing department for SmartTech 24/7, and we're hacking people to test if their security assumptions are all right and make them revalidate those. Today we will show you a live demonstration of wireless hacking. Now, wireless hackings have been in cyberspace for decades already, so this is nothing new, but we choose to show the wireless hacks because our experience shows us that the threats, the risk related to the wireless attacks are pretty much underestimated. Where basically, if you take a look, the wireless network are a clear gateway from external to internal network office of companies. And once the hackers are inside the network, inside the company's internal network, they can do pretty much whatever they want.
Let's start with the exercise.
Yeah, it's not switching. Oh, yeah, it's this. Yeah. All right. OK, so for the purpose of our presentation, we've created a wireless network. It's called live hacking, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's called live hacking.
You can check the
yeah, you can if you want, you can check, you can connect. It's safe to connect to this network, despite of our job. You can connect it. As you see, we've set up some randomized password. It looks pretty secure, right? There's a pretty big number of combinations, around 2.8 trillion of combinations, possible combinations, if you would like to brute force, so discover this password for a hacker that doesn't know the password. We've lowered the number of combinations a little bit because we have a limited time for this presentation. So the password only contains lowercase
numbers,
letters, and digits, and it's 8 characters. So if we speak about wireless hacking, we divide it to 2 types of attacks. One type is targeted directly at the access point at our wireless devices, which basically comes to capturing the password and cracking it offline to discover what the password actually is, because the passwords are hashed, they're protected, so they're not in a clear text. Hackers can capture those hashes and try to figure the password out of them. And the second type of attack is targeted at the wireless network users. So it's about creating a so-called evil twin access point, a rogue device that imitates the devices that you've already been connected to. And if we trick you to connect to such device, we're put in a man-in-the-middle position. So we have a pretty big arsenal of attacks to perform.
It's important to highlight that when the attacker cracks the wireless network password, it gets access into the trust boundary, so they can instantly discover potential vulnerabilities across the internal network perimeter. So
yeah,
I guess
we're gonna. So the first type of attack is about, as I said, is about capturing a so-called four-way handshake. Basically it's a password to the wireless network, but it's hidden. It needs to be cracked, and this is the most common way to do this. So because the wireless waves are obviously all around us, our devices, like hacker devices, can capture those waves between your mobile phones, your laptops, and the access points. And from those packets that we capture, we can try to figure out the real password to the access point. And this is what we'll be doing with our network. So let's start it. So if we can switch to our terminal screen. Oh, yeah, good.
So we're going to start with BetterCAP. It's a multi-tool for the wireless network attacks and Bluetooth communication. So let's get started with it. We'll turn on the Recon, which enables internal wireless card into the monitor mode. Let's clear this up a little bit. Okay, so what we have here, we have our live hacking SSID, and we can see 2 clients connected already into it. So this attack can be conducted in 2 ways. We can de-authenticate the user, so we will keep them out of the network, or we can wait until someone connects. So in this case, we'll try to kick the user out.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're able to capture the password in the exact time when the devices are connecting to the access point. But we can also force those devices to reconnect. So this is what hackers do. They can force your device to reconnect. You won't even notice because this is just a matter of seconds for reconnecting.
What's already happened? We captured the handshake.
Wait a second, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you don't see it clearly, but there is a red name of the red encryption level protocol next to the name of the network. Anyway, we captured, what happened now is we captured the communication between one of our devices. We have a couple of mobile phones that were connected to those access points, and our device did capture the traffic while those devices were connecting, and we're now able to use that captured traffic and try to search to figure out the password from it.
We capture it in PCAP form, so we have to translate it into the hashcat digestible file format, and we can proceed with offline cracking.
Okay, as someone already mentioned, all the tools are going to the cloud, and this is exactly what we're doing here. Password cracking is about using graphic processors, computing
GPUs.
power, GPUs, and obviously you can't buy a cracking device which will cost around 10,000 grams.
20 grams, yeah.
20 grams, around that, which will give you a significant amount of power to crack those passwords in proper time. But you can also use a cloud, like, for example, Amazon.
For the purpose of this exercise, we're going to use GPUs on Amazon Cloud, GPU units in the cluster to get this password cracked faster, way faster. So that's what's going to happen now. We'll define the URL and masking, which
it might not be clearly visible, but generally we're defining attributes for our
parameters.
We're giving the captured password, captured traffic in this file, which we copied to the cloud instance, and we're defining our set of characters, which we said at the beginning. The password only consists lowercase letters and digits, and we're doing like a brute forcing, but we're lowering the possible combinations. Yeah, and now the cracking will start. It takes some time. For our presentation and this example, we should be able to crack this password in less than 10 minutes.
That's an estimation. We'll see how that goes. We'll let you know once it's cracked, and we can move to the slide. Yeah, as Eddie mentioned.
So yeah, we can now switch to the slides, to the presentation.
A few more, just to skip this few, and go to the.
Yeah, okay, so as we mentioned, we're performing this type of attack, the four-way handshake capture, which requires us to have some clients connected to the access point. We're intercepting the traffic and capturing the password. But the latest attacks that some devices are, not all, but some devices are vulnerable, allow us to capture this traffic actually without any devices connected. And well, this is, in terms of hackers' perspective, this is a nice solution because like hackers can get nearby your office during the night when there's nobody there, and her can capture the password and do the cracking.
You should know that this type of attack can be conducted not only close to the perimeter, it can be conducted outside of the perimeter, even 10 kilometers away. So you won't be able to notice and detect this type of attack. Both four-way handshake or PMKID attacks, they are very difficult to detect. Let's keep on. This is what we have done already. Let's move on. It's cracking process.
The cracking process, right.
And this is an example how fast or how slow you could do it in your computer at home. For example, with 8,000 hashes per second, which normal computer has, it will take 3 days to crack this up. Not that bad. With the professional cracking rig, 41 minutes. And with cloud solution on the AWS, using Tesla GPUs, we can do it in less than 10 minutes with incredible cracking speed of over 6.7 million hashes per second.
Yeah, and what's important to mention is that this solution, cracking on an Amazon cloud, it costs like $24 per hour.
Per hour,
yeah. So 10 minutes is like a couple cents.
Yeah, a few cents, and you can get the wireless network
password. Even if those passwords were stronger, we could buy more instances, because this is estimation for single instance, and Amazon allows us to buy like 100 instances. Obviously, everything is about proper amount of cost and expenses that in relation to what hacker can get from getting inside some company's office, internal network.
Moving on to the password complexities. Not all of you, but probably some, using randomized password or password generators, but most of you use predictable patterns. For example, you use FirstCAP. The rest of the password is lowercase. The numbers are at the end. Special characters, especially exclamation mark, you position at the end, so it makes the life of the hackers way easier. They are automating, they are creating masks which are capable to crack the passwords way faster than you expect.
Yeah, so as my colleague mentioned, so if we take this 8-character password and we will use all possible characters, then we will have like 7.7 quadrillions of combinations, which is a lot. And even for the cloud-based instance, it's a couple of days. So from $24, it goes like to kilo or something, which, as I said, it's matter if the hackers will get something really good from this cracking. But what we're doing here is we're lowering the number of possible combinations, because the passwords are predictable. People use capital letter as first letter. People use digits on the end. People use the year number, combinations of company name and the year number.
Or even worse. You will see on the next slide.
Even if the password looks like a complex, because they have like 12 characters, small letters, capital letters, special characters, they are not that complex as they might look.
Yeah, here is year-to-year presentation of the most commonly used password. As you can see, they are not super hard to break, super hard to crack. If you have one of these passwords set up on your own computers or services, it's a good time to change them.
Yeah, and this is what we talk about, because this is so-called mask attacks. So we're defining that the first letter is, for example, capital, the rest are lowercase letters, and at the end of digits. And this is just a screen from a research done on all those passwords that leaked from all those worldwide database leaks. And this is the patterns that people use for creating passwords. So those patterns are used by our tools when we try to crack those passwords.
So we have cracking stations, we have predictable masks, and we have this. It's a database of leaks of the password globally. You have dark web resources with all passwords discovered through the leaks, like Dropbox, Forbes, Adobe, MySpace, Yahoo. You can create a huge dictionary and use it as a dictionary attack and get the password cracks fairly easily. So, as you all know, cybersecurity is a difficult game, and you might think your password is very secure, but it might look like this.
You might have a false sense of security.
Definitely.
Better revalidate your password security. Okay, can we switch to the terminal once again? Oh yeah, we're here. So as you can see, our machine was running for 5 minutes. It could run 10, 11 minutes more, but it was running for 5 minutes, and it already recovered 2 passwords from what we captured. And just to verify that, so 2 passwords it might not be clearly visible, but if any one of you did know the password from the beginning.
S4D9C2F0, and that's the one.
That's the password for the network. And as you see,
it wasn't difficult, 5 minutes.
It only took us like 5 minutes to crack this password. Of course, as I said at the beginning, we kind of lowered the complexity of this password for the purpose of the presentation, but obviously we could run this machine for an hour and crack the whole possible combinations.
And there is second type of attack.
Can we switch back to the presentation?
There is second type of attack which affects the client. And
the second type of attack is actually targeted at the client. As I said at the beginning, we're creating a rogue access point, and we're tricking your devices to connect to our rogue access point. Your device are broadcasting the names of the network you connected to. So if any one of you was in a hotel or in the Dublin airport, we actually can capture this here and create an access point that's named Dublin Airport, and your devices will connect to this access point and it will be in the man-in-the-middle position. Now, because we don't have any much time, we can't show it.
We could just show you quickly the SSID pool.
Yeah, if you could just one more time switch to the terminal.
So we have these bad boys here. So if you see this type of device around, you know something is happening.
Yeah, so here are the name of the wireless network that we captured. We run this device from the beginning of our presentation. And if any of you recognizes one of these.
Someone tried to put the password.
Someone probably tried to put the password as the name of the network.
Nice.
So it's so easy. It's so easy. If you broadcast the false SSID, your device will be connected automatically. And it's like open doors for the hackers.
Sorry, and again, it's a really stupid person here, but it's literally this.
Yeah,
this little box here with 4 areas.
And we actually, what we can do.
It can be way smaller than this.
We can be way smaller. We can use such a device. It's a Raspberry Pi Zero with a battery pack. The battery pack can be much smaller than this one. We can just drop this device. We can pretend journalists come to your office, drop the device, and just...
You can discreetly kind of drop it and run away. And you get the password, and then
just come back for it or connect to it remotely and get those passwords, those hashes that we were then submitting for cracking, or create the access point, which you will connect to.
All I can say is I'm glad you're working for the good guys, because that is absolutely terrifying. And what's worse for me, though, I realize that password 1 with a capital P is just not going to cut it.
It's not at all, no.
I'm going to have to work on that. Chris and Eddie, ladies and gentlemen, well done.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys.